So again, I'm gonna take another one of my jars here. Same thing as before, if you have the pliers. If you guys have the pliers, very helpful. And I'm gonna again do the same thing as before. If I can grab it. I'm gonna screw the end to the cork. So we have our cork like this. And for the Gillyweed, we're not gonna use glow-in-the-dark glue. We're actually just gonna use the clear Elmer glue. I'm gonna go ahead and fill that about 1/3 of the way up in my jar. And for this one, we are going to be using some green paint. So go ahead, if you have the Gillyweed, which everyone should, we're gonna go ahead and grab our green paint. And the same as the Wolfsbane, we're gonna go ahead and try to squeeze as much green paint as possible into our jars. You can use your finger like I am to like squeeze the paint out, or if it's really wet at the top, you can use the pipette to squeeze the paint out. Now that we got that in there, I'm gonna go ahead and start mixing the green up inside to make sure it's all green in there. Once you are done mixing it, we gotta put our Gillyweed in there. So you guys should have this moss. So you wanna stick the moss in there, or you can stick this in here, or if you can stick both, that's fantastic. I'm gonna stick this inside. And again, if you have pliers, the pliers are gonna come in really helpful, because then you can use the pliers to kind of stick the Gillyweed and the moss inside your jars. So there's one, and don't have too much room left in my jar because I do need to fill it up with some more glue, so I'm gonna go ahead and stick some of this moss inside too. Alright, so now that I have those inside, that will go back in when I stick in the cork. I'm gonna go ahead and fill the top of this with glue and fill it up. I'm gonna fill all of this up with more clear glue. If you have your elements inside, it might be blocking the glue to get in there. You can always use your toothpick that you mix with to kind of help the glue get down into the parts it needs to get into. So it's just gonna be a mixture of glue and toothpick right for this part until we can get the rest of the glue up to the top. And there we go. So we got it filled up to the top. Once it's filled to the top, we're gonna go ahead. We're gonna stick that, if there's a little bit left at the top, try to get it into. We're gonna try to use our fingers and keep that inside. Close the cork on it as much as possible. And like we did before with the Wolfsbane, we're gonna go ahead and hot glue the edges down so that way it's going to stay shut forever. And while we wait for those to dry, we're gonna go ahead and I'm gonna show you guys really quickly the other two or the other three that you can do. So in your bags, I've talked about the dragon blood. I'm not gonna show it to you, but your dragon blood can look like this, a nice red/copper color. I put the dragon charm on top of this one. This one's not a necklace. You guys could also have this Amaretta one as well. I use this one. It's also known as a love potion. And I use this one as a necklace right here. It has the glitter in it, as well as the red paint and the heart charm. And the last one that I'll talk about really quickly is the unicorn blood. That's the one that's silver, just like this one. And it's going to have this unicorn charm at the top.